We're going to replace the front struts and stabilizer bar bushings on this 2007 Nissan Armada 4-wheel drive. We're going to lift this Armada up, take the wheel and tire off so we can gain access to the strut assembly. One note when you're lifting it up is support the weight of the vehicle on a jack stand, and the jack stand should be positioned underneath the frame rail or a cross member so the suspension can hang. So we're taking this assembly out right here. There's a mount down here on the control arm, and then up here on the top on the tower. There's a couple of bolts up there too, or a couple of nuts. And I like to first start out by lubing them up a little bit, not much, with some penetrating oil. Come up here, look at it. There's one back there. And then we'll get started. This bottom bolt is a 19 millimeter. The bolt and the nut are both 19s. I'm going to hold the bolt with a wrench, a 19 millimeter wrench, and I have an impact wrench on the other side. Then I'm going to pull that nut off. If you don't have an impact, you could use a breaker bar. And pull that out. I'm just going to leave the bolt in there for now. I'm going to get them all disconnected before I pull everything out. This is a super important step when removing strut assemblies from any vehicle. Notice that there are these smaller ones, like right here and right here, and there's one more back there. Generally there's 3 of them that circle the strut. This one right in the middle here, that's a do not remove bolt or nut. Okay, we're going to pull the assembly out by pulling these 3 nuts off, and then the whole assembly will come out. This is a 14 millimeter. And I'll pull these things out individually. And that's 3. It's really all that's holding this strut in right now. Is as you can see, it's a little loose. I just need to pull this bolt out and then sneak the strut out. So these are the 3 studs that I pulled the nuts off of at the top, and I said don't remove this one. If you kind of take a look at it, so this is the strut mount up on top, and the strut mount is actually the top spring mount. So if we were to pull this off, that would have allowed the spring to release its energy and force the strut down. So depending on what part you were in the repair procedure, or if you pulled the wrong bolt out or what have you, springs contain a lot of energy, and some serious injury or death can result when that spring releases its energy. Take the new strut and spring assembly and install it. New nuts. Get those started. kind of a tech tip is to not tighten any bolts down until all of them are installed in your system. Now to tighten it, snug it up, because we're going to use a torque wrench on it. And we'll get the other ones too. The new nuts I got with the strut are 15 millimeters, so I couldn't use my 14 again. That's okay though. Okay, last step is to torque them. Okay, I got torque wrench set to 98 foot-pounds. Got my wrench on that side. I'm going to torque the nut on this side. I'm using a 3/8 drive torque wrench for these because these are supposed to be at 22 foot-pounds. That's 1, 2, that's 3. Hey, make sure when you're doing your own suspension repairs that you look up the specifications for your year, make, and model, and engine size, and whatever else it's equipped with, like air ride or suspension leveling or brakes or you know, whatever. So just make sure you get the right specifications. This one happened to be 98 at the bottom, bolt nut, and 22 at the top, and the wheel happens to be 98 foot-pounds on this one, but always check the service manual or service specifications for the vehicle that you're working on. Well, this is about it. I did the right side. I'm going to go over and do the left side now. It'll be a piece of cake. Pretty simple job.